Let your eyes drift closed and allow the heavy curtain of the day to fall away. There is nothing you need to do right now, and know where you need to be other than exactly where you are, resting in a space of perfect comfort and stillness. Take a long, slow breath in, filling your chest with cool, calming air, and then release it gently, letting your shoulders drop and your jaw loosen. With every breath, you feel a little heavier, a little more grounded, sinking deeper into the soft support beneath you. We are about to embark on a journey across the world, to a place where history is written in stone, and the light carries the golden warmth of centuries. Imagine yourself seated in a wide, velvet armchair by the window of a train that is gliding effortlessly through the heart of Italy. The rhythm of the rails is a soft, hypnotic hum, a steady vibration that travels up through the floor and lulls you into a state of drowsy contentment. Outside the glass, the landscape of Tuscany is unrolling like a grand, verdant tapestry. It is the hour just before dawn, that magical suspended time when the world is painted in shades of indigo and charcoal. You see the silhouette of rolling hills rising and falling like the breaths of a sleeping giant. Rows of cypress trees stand tall and dark against the lightening sky, guarding the vineyards where mist clings to the ground in low, ghostly ribbons. The train slows, the hum deepening in pitch as you approach the ancient city of Florence. The movement stops with a gentle sigh of hydraulics. You step out onto the platform at the Santa Maria Novella station. The air here is different. It is cool and crisp, carrying the faintest scent of old stone, damp earth, and the distant, promising aroma of roasting coffee beans. The station is quiet, populated only by the few early travelers seeking the solitude of the morning. Your footsteps echo softly on the smooth floor as you make your way toward the exit, moving with a leisurely pace, for there is no rush in this timeless place. Pushing through the glass doors, you step out into the city itself. Florence is still sleeping. The chaotic energy of the day has not yet arrived, leaving the streets empty and serene. The buildings that line the narrow roads are tall and imposing, their shutters closed tight against the morning chill. They are painted in warm, earthy tones of ochre, terracotta, and cream, though in this early light, they appear as muted shades of gray and soft amber. You begin to walk, your shoes clicking rhythmically against the cobblestones. The stones are uneven, worn smooth by millions of feet over hundreds of years, each one a testament to the passage of time. You turn down a side street, guided by an intuitive pull toward the heart of the city. The silence here is profound, broken only by the cooing of a pigeon on a window ledge, or the rattle of a shopkeeper rolling up a metal grate blocks away. The air feels dense with history. You can almost feel the presence of the artists and poets who walked these same stones, breathing this same air. The street is narrow, creating a canyon of masonry that frames the sky above. As you look up, you notice the deep blue of the night is beginning to surrender to a pale, violet wash. The stars are fading, one by one, blinking out as the sun begins its slow ascent beyond the horizon. Ahead, the narrow street opens up. You are approaching the Piazza del Duomo. You feel a swell of anticipation, a gentle fluttering in your chest. You keep your eyes cast downward for a moment, watching the pattern of the stones, saving the view for the perfect second. You take a few more steps, breathing in the scent of rain that fell during the night and has now evaporated from the pavement. You stop. You look up. There it is, the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore. It rises from the earth like a mountain of marble, so massive and intricate that it seems impossible it was built by human hands. In the dim light, the sheer scale of it is humbling. But it is not just the size that takes your breath away. It is the color. The facade is a geometric dream of pink, green, and white marble, sourced from quarries in Carrara, Prato, and Siena. Even in the shadows, the stone seems to glow with an inner luminescence. You find a quiet spot on the edge of the square, leaning back against a cool stone wall to watch the morning unfold. The sky behind the great dome, Brunelleschi's masterpiece, is turning a soft, translucent apricot. The terracotta tiles of the dome, usually a burning red, are currently a deep, dusty purple. You settle in, wrapping your coat tighter around you, feeling perfectly warm and safe. Then it begins. The first ray of direct sunlight breaks over the distant hills and strikes the very top of the lantern, the golden sphere that crowns the dome. It ignites like a beacon. You watch, mesmerized, as the light begins to crawl down the structure. It is a slow, liquid movement, like honey pouring over a spoon. The light touches the ribs of the dome, turning the purple tiles to a vibrant, fiery orange. It descends further, caressing the white marble frames of the circular windows. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the light slides down the facade of the cathedral. It illuminates the intricate statues nestled in their niches, the delicate carvings of flowers and vines, the twisted pillars that spiral upward. The green serpentine marble turns a deep, rich emerald, and the pink marble warms to the color of a rose in bloom. The white stone, clean and bright, dazzles against the deepening blue of the sky. The square is slowly filling with light, chasing away the last shadows of the night. The transformation is slow and steady, a silent symphony of color and illumination. You watch the interplay of light and shadow on Giotto's bell tower, standing tall and proud beside the cathedral. The relief carvings seem to move as the angle of the sun shifts, telling stories of creation and industry to the empty square. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the image of the sun-drenched marble imprint itself on your mind. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your own face now, a gentle caress that relaxes the muscles around your eyes and smooths your brow. The city is waking up around you, but you remain in your bubble of peace, anchored by the beauty of the stone and the light. You are here in Florence, witnessing the arrival of a new day, safe and serene in the embrace of the morning. The air in Florence is cool and crisp at this hour, a refreshing embrace that greets you as you step out into the quiet morning. The city, usually a bustling tapestry of voices and movement, is currently paused in a deep, restful slumber. You walk softly over the cobblestones, the rhythmic sound of your own footsteps acting as a gentle metronome, guiding you through the narrow, winding streets. There is a profound sense of privacy in these pre-dawn moments, as if the entire Renaissance city has been reserved solely for you. The tall ochre buildings on either side of the street lean in slightly, their green shutters pulled tight against the night air. Iron lanterns, perched high on the walls, cast pools of warm, amber light that flicker softly, guiding your path toward the center of the city. You turn a corner, and the narrow street suddenly opens up into the vast expanse of the Piazza del Duomo. The change in scale is breathtaking. In the center of the square rises the Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, a mountain of stone resting beneath the fading stars. At this hour, the great cathedral is a silent shadow, a massive silhouette etched against the velvet blue of the pre-dawn sky. It feels grounded, heavy, and eternal. The sheer size of the structure commands a reverence that requires no words. You find a quiet spot to stand and simply observe, letting the stillness of the square settle over you like a weighted blanket. The sky above is beginning its slow transition. The deep, inky indigo is softening, diluting into a lighter, hazier blue. It is the color of calm, the color of quiet potential. You look up at the outline of the massive dome, Brunelleschi's masterpiece, which looms large and protective over the piazza. It is dark now, its famous red tiles muted by the night, but you can feel the presence of its magnitude. It is a sleeping giant, waiting for the touch of the sun to awaken. As you wait, the air around you seems to hold its breath. Then a subtle shift occurs. The horizon to the east begins to glow with a faint, pale gold. This light is shy at first, merely a suggestion of the day to come. It begins to dilute the darkness, revealing the true nature of the cathedral's skin. The dark, monolithic shadow begins to resolve into detail. You can see the patterns now, the intricate geometric designs that cover the facade. The famous marble of the cathedral begins to wake up. At first, the white Carrara marble appears as a ghostly gray, cool and monochromatic in the low light. It looks soft, almost like mist trapped in stone. It has a matte finish in the gloom, absorbing the last remnants of the night. But as the sky continues to brighten, shifting from blue to a delicate lavender, the stone begins to warm. The gray dissolves, replaced by a creamy pearl finish that seems to glow from within. It is a slow magic, a transformation that happens so gradually you almost miss it if you blink. Now the colors begin to emerge. The deep green serpentine marble from Prado, which creates the bold, rectangular borders and circular designs, shifts from black to a deep, rich forest hue. It reminds you of the deep woods, of pine needles and moss. The pink marble from Maremma, used to accent the white and green, begins to blush, taking on the soft tone of a seashell found on a distant beach. The entire building is shaking off the night, revealing itself as a jewelry box of white, green, and pink, standing stark and beautiful against the morning. The silence of the square is broken only by the soft cooing of pigeons roosting in the eaves, and the distant sound of a church bell tolling the hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The sound ripples through the air, vibrating gently against your chest, grounding you in the present moment. You take a deep breath, inhaling the scent of old stone and morning dew. The air is clean and revitalizing, filling your lungs with the essence of Tuscany. You look up toward the very top of the dome. The golden lantern that crowns the structure catches the first direct ray of the sun. It sparks like a beacon, a brilliant star ignited by the dawn. The light begins to pour down, thick and golden like honey. The light touches the ribs of the dome, turning the purple tiles to a vibrant, fiery orange. It descends further, caressing the white marble frames of the circular windows. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the light slides down the facade of the cathedral. It illuminates the intricate statues nestled in their niches, the delicate carvings of flowers and vines, the twisted pillars that spiral upward. The green serpentine marble turns a deep, rich emerald, and the pink marble warms to the color of a rose in bloom. The white stone, clean and bright, dazzles against the deepening blue of the sky. The square is slowly filling with light, chasing away the last shadows of the night. The transformation is slow and steady, a silent symphony of color and illumination. You watch the interplay of light and shadow on Giotto's bell tower, standing tall and proud beside the cathedral. The relief carvings seem to move as the angle of the sun shifts, telling stories of creation and industry to the empty square. You close your eyes for a moment, letting the image of the sun-drenched marble imprint itself on your mind. You can feel the warmth of the sun on your own face now, a gentle caress that relaxes the muscles around your eyes and smooths your brow. The city is waking up around you, but you remain in your bubble of peace, anchored by the beauty of the stone and the light. You are here in Florence, witnessing the arrival of a new day, safe and serene in the embrace of the morning. Leaving the brilliance of the open square, you drift slowly toward the mouth of a narrow side street. The transition is immediate and soothing. Here, the buildings lean in toward one another, their terracotta eaves nearly touching high above, creating a deep canyon of cool shade that the morning sun has not yet touched. These are the arteries of the ancient city, paved with large, flat slabs of pietra forte, a hard, sandstone-colored rock that has borne the weight of history for centuries. The air here holds a distinct, refreshing chill, a remnant of the night trapped between the tall, imposing walls of the palazzos. You can feel the coolness against your skin, a gentle contrast to the growing warmth you left behind in the piazza. It smells of damp stone and the faint, sweet scent of espresso, drifting from a distant, shuttered cafe preparing for the day. You place a hand against the rough, tawny surface of a wall, feeling the grit and the history in the stone, grounding yourself in the physical reality of this timeless place. The street is nearly empty, a private corridor belonging only to the early risers. Without the daytime crowds, the acoustics of the alleyway are pristine and magnified. Silence here is not an absence of sound, but a canvas for the most delicate of details. From somewhere ahead, around a gentle bend in the lane, you hear a rhythmic, purposeful sound. Clack, clack, clack. It is the distinctive strike of leather-soled shoes against the pietra forte pavement. The sound is crisp and dry, echoing off the stone walls, announcing the approach of a solitary figure long before they come into view. It is a timeless sound, one that has echoed through these streets for 500 years, the sound of a merchant, an artist, or a priest starting their day. The footsteps grow louder, a steady metronome that seems to pace your own breathing. A figure in a dark coat passes you with a polite nod, their rhythm unbroken. Clack, clack, clack. You listen as the sound fades behind you, receding into the labyrinth of streets, leaving you once again in the embrace of the quiet morning. As you continue your slow meander, another sound emerges from the stillness, softer and more textured than the footsteps. It is a rhythmic shush, shush, shush. It is the sound of a traditional broom made of bundled twigs, sweeping against the cobblestones. You follow the sound until you see a street sweeper in the distance, moving with a practiced, meditative grace. There is no mechanical hum, only the friction of the broom against the stone. Shush, shush. The sweeper moves dust and fallen leaves, clearing the path for the day to come. It is a sound of care, of stewardship, a morning ritual that cleanses the city not just of debris, but of yesterday's worries. The rhythm is hypnotic, like the ebb and flow of a calm ocean tide, lulling your mind into a state of deeper relaxation. You pause for a moment, simply watching the repetitive motion, letting the shush sound wash over you, smoothing out the edges of your thoughts. Continuing your walk, the narrow alley begins to widen, and the light at the end of the tunnel grows brighter. You are emerging from the cool, stone embrace of the back streets and returning to the heart of the religious center. As you step out from the shadows, the baptistry of St. John rises before you, an octagonal jewel resting on the stones, while the cathedral behind you dazzles with its height. The baptistry feels grounded and ancient. Its geometric patterns of green and white marble are crisp in the morning light. You walk toward the eastern doors, the famous gates of paradise. At this early hour, with the sun still low, the gilded bronze panels catch the light in a spectacular display. The gold glows with an inner fire, portraying tiny, intricate scenes of hills and figures that seem to shimmer as you approach. You stand before the gates, tracing the lines of the golden frames with your eyes. The shine of the metal is warm and inviting, a stark contrast to the cool gray stone of the alleyways you just traversed. The city is beginning to hum with a low, gentle energy. But here in this space, between the great stone giants of Florence, there is a profound sense of equilibrium. You take a deep breath, inhaling the crisp morning air that is now tinged with the warmth of the sun. The damp coolness of the Pietra Forte streets lingers in your memory, balancing the radiant heat radiating from the marble. You feel perfectly poised between the shadow and the light, the cool and the warm, the silence and the waking sounds of the city. The rhythmic clack of the leather shoes and the shush of the broom are faint memories now, woven into the tapestry of the morning. You are part of this scene, a silent observer in a city of art and stone. Your shoulders drop, your breath deepens, and you feel a heavy, comforting wave of relaxation settle over you, as steady and enduring as the marble beneath your feet. The day has begun, but you are in no rush, resting comfortably in the slow, beautiful passage of time in Florence. Turning slowly from the golden radiance of the baptistry doors, you allow your gaze to drift across the piazza to the soaring structure that anchors the square. This is Giotto's Campanile, the great bell tower that rises beside the cathedral, a masterpiece of colored stone that seems to bridge the earth and the sky. You walk quietly across the paving stones, the city still held in the hushed reverence of early morning. There is no crowd to jostle against, only the expansive freedom of the empty square and the crisp, clean air that brushes against your cheeks. You come to a halt at the very base of the tower, tilting your head back to take in its immense height. It is a structure of rhythm and geometry, a symphony played in marble. The sheer verticality of it is grounding, drawing your awareness from the horizon up toward the heavens, then back down to the solid earth beneath your feet. You are standing in the presence of centuries of history, a silent witness to the dawn. As you wait in the stillness, the air begins to vibrate with a subtle anticipation. It is moments before 6 o'clock in the morning. High above, hidden within the open arches of the belfry, the great bells are preparing to mark the hour. You close your eyes for a moment, feeling the stillness of the stone giants around you. Then the sound arrives. It is not just heard, it is felt. The first strike of the bell is a deep bronze resonance that travels down through the masonry and into the piazza floor, vibrating gently through the soles of your shoes. It is a low, rolling hum that resonates in your chest, a physical connection to the heartbeat of Florence. The sound is rich and full, a heavy note that clears the mind of any lingering thoughts. A second chime follows, then a third. The staccato notes echo off the surrounding palazzos, bouncing between the marble facades like invisible birds taking flight. The sound is crisp in the cool morning air, a declaration that the city is awakening. You listen as the echoes fade into a harmonious decay, leaving behind a silence that feels deeper and more profound than before. The vibration in your feet settles into a comforting stillness, grounding you in this specific moment in time. With the bells now silent, your attention returns to the visual splendor before you. The morning light is beginning to shift, climbing higher up the facade of the tower. You step closer to examine the marble cladding, captivated by the interplay of colors. The tower is not merely white. It is a tapestry of Carrara white, Maremma pink, and a deep, verdant green from Prato. It is this green that captures your imagination. As the soft, angled sunlight strikes the surface, the Prato marble begins to glow. It possesses the rich, organic hue of deep forest moss or the shadowed depths of a river. It is a living color, warm and velvety against the stark purity of the white borders. You trace the veins of the stone with your eyes, observing how the light brings out a subtle luminosity from within the rock, as if the tower itself is breathing. The green bands wrap around the structure like ribbons of velvet, softening the imposing height of the stone and connecting the architecture to the natural world of hills and forests that lie beyond the city walls. Your gaze lowers to the hexagonal panels that encircle the base of the tower. These are the relief carvings, intimate works of art placed at eye level for the passerby to admire. In the soft, raking light of dawn, the textures of the carvings stand out in high relief. You see tiny figures depicted in stone, representing the arts and labors of humanity. There is a shepherd watching his flock, a blacksmith at his anvil, and an astronomer gazing at the stars. You feel a desire to reach out, to trace the textures of the lower reliefs with your fingertips, though you content yourself with a visual caress. You observe the roughness of the carved stone backgrounds, contrasted against the smooth, polished surfaces of the figures. The shadows cast by the rising sun define every fold of drapery and every expression on the miniature faces. It is a storytelling book carved in rock, a celebration of human endeavor that has stood here, weathering the rain and the sun for hundreds of years. The light continues its slow ascent, claiming more of the tower with each passing minute. You watch as the shadows retreat, chasing the coolness upward, leaving the base of the tower bathed in a gentle amber warmth. The Prado green marble seems to pulse with this new light, vibrant and grounding. Here, at the foot of the tower, you feel a profound sense of stability. The endurance of the stone, the regularity of the bells, and the inevitable rise of the sun all conspire to soothe your spirit. You are exactly where you are meant to be, anchored by the weight of history and lifted by the beauty of the morning. A wave of tranquility washes over you, as steady and rhythmic as the chimes that just passed, inviting you to rest in the timeless embrace of Florence. The air in the Piazza del Duomo is still cool and crisp, holding the quiet breath of the night that has just passed. You stand near the base of the cathedral, having moved your gaze from the intricate reliefs of the bell tower to the immense structure that dominates the Florentine skyline. It is the fourth morning of your journey, and the city seems to be waiting just for you, wrapped in a blanket of silence before the bustle of the day begins. Before you rises the great dome, Brunelleschi's cupola, a mountain of terracotta and marble that seems less like a building and more like a permanent feature of the earth itself. You tilt your head back, letting your eyes travel up the vast expanse of the cathedral walls. In the pre-dawn light, the massive structure appears subdued, its colors muted by the lingering shadows. The stone feels solid and grounding, a testament to patience and engineering that defies the imagination. But high above, the sky is beginning to shift. The deep indigo is fading, surrendering to a soft, pale lavender that heralds the arrival of the sun. You are here to witness a daily transformation, a slow and majestic awakening of stone and tile. Your attention focuses on the very top of the dome, where the white marble lantern sits like a crown. The first ray of the morning sun, cresting over the distant hills, strikes the golden copper ball that surmounts the lantern. It flares instantly, a sudden spark of brilliance against the pale sky, like a star brought down to earth. This single point of light signals the beginning of the display. Slowly, imperceptibly, the light begins to slide downward. It touches the white marble ribs that curve gracefully from the lantern down to the base of the dome, outlining the great octagonal shape against the sky. These ribs of white stone act as guides for your eyes, drawing them down the sloping sides of the roof. Between these ribs lie the vast fields of terracotta tiles. In the shadow, They are a deep, somber brown, the color of burnt umber and rich earth. They look cool and matte, absorbing the last of the night's moisture. As the sun climbs higher, the line of light descends, claiming the tiles row by row. It is a transformation of color and temperature. Where the light hits, the burnt umber shifts instantly. The dark, earthen tones ignite into a glowing orange red, vibrant and warm. It is as if a fire has been lit within the clay itself. You watch the color spread, a slow tide of warmth washing down the curve of the dome. The millions of tiles, arranged in their complex herringbone pattern, seem to texture the light, catching it in their subtle irregularities and creating a surface that feels alive. The contrast is striking. The western side of the dome remains in the cool, blue shadow of the morning, while the eastern face is now ablaze with the color of ripe apricots and sun-baked clay. You can see the long shadows cast by the white marble ribs stretching across the red tiles, defining the curve of the massive roof. As you watch, these long shadows begin to shorten, retreating as the sun rises higher, the light wrapping further around the spherical form. Your gaze lowers to the drum of the dome, the base upon which this architectural miracle rests. Here, the circular windows are framed in the distinctive polychrome marble that defines the cathedral. You observe the Maremma pink marble, which had looked gray and sleepy only moments ago. As the sunlight reaches it, the stone seems to blush. It turns a soft, dusty rose, a gentle and welcoming color that speaks of softness despite the hardness of the rock. It contrasts beautifully with the bands of white Carrara marble, which now gleam with a pristine, milky brightness, and the Prato green serpentinite, which deepens into a rich, verdant hue, like the leaves of an olive tree. The light is not just a visual experience. You can almost feel the warmth it brings. You imagine the stone, cold from the night, beginning to absorb this energy, storing it within its thick walls. The transition from the umber shadows to the glowing orange red of the terracotta is a soothing rhythm, a visual melody that plays out in slow motion. It is a reminder of the cycle of days, the certainty that light always returns to banish the dark. You trace the lines of the building with your eyes, following the geometry of the circles and squares, the arches and the straight lines. The interplay of the pink, white, and green marble creates a harmony that feels musical. The dusty rose marble catches the first light and holds it, glowing with an inner luminescence that makes the heavy stone appear almost weightless. Standing here, in the shadow of this colossal achievement, you feel a profound sense of peace. The world is vast, and history is long, and you are a witness to a moment of pure beauty that has repeated for centuries. The light has now fully embraced the eastern side of the dome. The transition is complete. The burnt umber has vanished, replaced by the radiant, sun-drenched red that symbolizes the heart of Florence. The sight of the long shadows shortening across the dome's curve lulls you into a state of deep relaxation. There is no rush here. The sun moves at its own pace, and the stone waits, as it always has. You feel anchored by the beauty before you, grounded by the pink and green marble, and uplifted by the soaring red tiles. A gentle breeze brushes past you, carrying the scent of morning dew and ancient stone, whispering that it is time to rest, to let the image of the glowing dome settle in your mind, warm and comforting as you drift into a peaceful slumber. The morning air is cool and still as you find yourself once again standing at the foot of the great cathedral. The city of Florence is waking up slowly, a quiet awakening that happens in hushed tones and soft movements. Here in the piazza, the silence is profound, broken only by the distant flutter of wings as doves settle onto the ledges high above. You are facing the western facade, the grand front entrance of the Duomo, a masterpiece of colored marble that rises like a sheer cliff face of artistry against the pale blue sky. The sun has just begun to crest over the rooftops behind the cathedral, casting the vast facade into a soft, diffused relief. You take a deep breath, inhaling the scent of cool stone and the lingering freshness of the night. There is a sense of anticipation in the air, a patient waiting for the golden touch of the morning sun to bring this stone tapestry to life. Your eyes are drawn to the incredible detail of the marble. From a distance, it looks like a painting, but here, up close, you can see the depth and the texture. It is a marvel of craftsmanship, a testament to hands that carved with infinite patience and devotion. The stone does not look like solid rock. Rather, it resembles delicate lace, spun from the earth itself. You trace the intricate patterns with your gaze, following the twisting columns that spiral upward like ribbons of candy. There are flowers carved from white marble that look as though they might bloom if touched, and geometric borders that weave in and out in hypnotic, endless loops. As you watch, the light begins its descent. It touches the highest pinnacle first, a kiss of pale gold on the white marble of the cornice. Slowly, steadily, the light creeps downward, a silent tide of warmth washing over the cool stone. It is a slow reveal, a curtain being drawn back to show the splendor hidden within the shadows. The light reaches the row of statues nestled in their Gothic niches. These are the carved figures of saints and apostles, the silent guardians of the city. For hours they have stood in the grayness of pre-dawn, their expressions veiled in shadow. Now, as the morning light caresses the stone, their faces are illuminated one by one. You watch the shadows retreat from their brows, from their eyes, from the folds of their stone robes. The light creates new depth, highlighting the curve of a cheekbone or the gentle grasp of a hand holding a book or a staff. They seem to step forward to meet the day, their expressions serene and timeless, watching over the square with a patience that spans centuries. The colors of the marble begin to sing as the sun strengthens. The deep green serpentine form Prato, which looked almost black in the dim light, now reveals its true verdant hue, a rich forest green that grounds the design. The pink marble from Maremma glows with the soft blush of a seashell, warm and inviting. And the white Carrara marble, the backbone of the structure, catches the sunlight and scatters it, making the entire facade appear to shimmer. You focus on a single section of the wall, a square of intricate carving where green and pink inlays form a perfect rosette. The precision is soothing to your mind. Every line meets perfectly. Every curve is balanced. It is a visual lullaby, a repetition of beauty that calms the racing thoughts of the mind and invites a sense of deep structural peace. The complexity of the lacework does not overwhelm you. Instead, it draws you in, capturing your attention so completely that the rest of the world fades away. The sun has now reached the great bronze doors, warming the metal and casting a golden sheen across the intricate reliefs that decorate them. The entire facade is bathed in light, a glorious wall of color and texture standing tall against the deepening blue of the morning sky. You can feel the warmth on your own face now, a gentle heat that radiates from the stone and the sun above. It is a comforting weight, like a heavy blanket pulled up to your chin. The transformation is complete. The cool, gray monolith of the early dawn has become a radiant beacon of pink, white, and green. The shadows have fled, leaving only the brightness of the Florentine morning. You feel a sense of completion, a satisfaction in having witnessed the return of the light. The rhythm of the light moving down the stone matches the slowing rhythm of your breath. In and out, slow and steady. The grandeur of the cathedral does not demand your energy. It lends you its strength. You feel anchored by its massive presence, grounded by the heavy stones that have held their place for hundreds of years. The visual harmony of the facade, the balance of vertical and horizontal lines, settles deep within you, organizing your thoughts into quiet rows, smoothing out the edges of your awareness. The brightness of the sun-drenched marble begins to soften in your mind's eye as your eyelids grow heavy. The image of the glowing saints and the lace-like stone lingers, a beautiful, static memory that requires no effort to hold. The warmth of the sun feels like a gentle hand resting on your shoulder, encouraging you to let go, to sink deeper into the comfort of rest. The pigeons coo softly, a rhythmic, murmuring sound that blends with the slow beat of your heart. Here, in the presence of such enduring beauty, there is nothing left to do. The day has begun for the city, but for you, it is time to drift. You carry the warmth of the pink marble and the serenity of the carved faces with you as you float away from the piazza, drifting on the soft currents of sleep, wrapped in the golden light of Florence.